What's up guys, it's finally time for me to apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred with my elevated offer of 80,000 points here. I do have to scan a QR code in order to do this, so I will be recording on my phone, so I'll throw up a screen recording and talk you guys through the application process to hopefully answer any questions you might have, so enjoy. Well, first things first guys, right when I scanned the QR code it actually pre-filled a bunch of my personal information in, so I'll obviously have to blur that out and skip that for you. But the personal information side is obviously the easy part, and I don't think you guys would need help filling that out, so we'll just go ahead and skip right to the parts that might be a little confusing so I can help you out with that. The first question here is type of residence, and you have the options to either own, rent, or other. I rent, so I'll select that. Monthly housing payment, me and my girlfriend split rent, which is $14.50, but since we split it, me personally, I only pay $7.25, and the company obviously just uses this to see if, you'll be able to pay off your card balance, so they don't want to see a super high rent number, but it shouldn't affect you that much as long as it's appropriate for your income. Next question here is employment status. I am employed. And then we have our total gross annual income. So this one can be pretty tricky sometimes because obviously you do want to put a higher income in here because Chase wants to know if you are able to pay off your card balance. And the same goes with any other credit card lender. They want to make sure that you are able to pay off whatever limit they give you. It also might slightly affect what credit card limit that you get. So you do want to put a large number in here. However, you don't want to exaggerate your income, because if you do, Chase or any other credit card company might audit you to see if you actually are making what you make, and personally I want to avoid that if I can. But as long as you don't throw anything too ridiculous in here, they probably won't audit you. I haven't been audited yet for any of my applications, and I'll also let you guys know exactly what I'm punching in here so you guys can compare your income to that. And a quick rundown, I recently got a promotion at work and I'm in line for another one. Either a promotion or I'll be changing companies and making a little bit more money. But I still do want to take the conservative estimate of what I'll be making because, again, if Chase does decide to audit me, I need to be able to prove to them that I will be making this income. Also, I have hopes that the social media company will start bringing in income as well, but as I haven't done that yet, I'll go ahead and not include that here, but, like, comment, and subscribe, so hopefully on the next application I can, I guess. Just so you guys know, it is total gross income, so you guys can include any other side hustles that you have, or any other investments, or other sources of income as well. But once again, I'll be using a conservative estimate here just in case Chase decides to audit my finances. I want to be able to prove that I make well more than this just to avoid any legal troubles. So I'll be entering in 70K. But just so you guys know, on my last couple credit card applications, I entered in $50,000 and was approved with no problem. So hopefully that helps you guys out. All right, next couple questions. Just first being if I want paperless billing, which of course I do. And the next being authorized user, and for now I'll put no. I will be adding my girlfriend as an authorized user, but she's not here right now, so I'll have her enter in that information later. So for now, I'll just say no. Next, we have pricing information and terms, and the first number here is the APR, which if you guys watch my videos, you know that I always preach paying your credit cards off in full and on time every single month. So this APR should not affect you or me as long as you're playing the credit card game correctly. However, if you watch my videos, you also know that any APR over 30% is extremely predatory, and 22.49 is actually a relatively low APR. Chase is typically a pretty reputable brand, and they actually have my favorite beginner credit card, so subscribe to that if you want to learn more. But as always, remember, banks are not your friend, and even a bank like Chase, Amex, or Capital One will still take advantage of you, so you want to make sure you pay off your credit cards on time and in full every month, and only spend on your credit cards if you have the money in the bank to pay for whatever you're buying. But like I said, if you do that, these interest rates and other fees will not apply. The only fee that you need to be aware of is that with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you do have a $95 annual fee. I talk more about this in some of my other videos, so check those out next if you want to learn more. But I can confidently say I get positive value on this annual fee with this card, and that's why I'm applying for it today. And again, most of these other late and transaction type fees, you shouldn't have to worry about as long as you're treating your credit card correctly. One thing I do want to draw your guys' attention to is that the Chase Sapphire Preferred has no foreign transaction fee, which is super important for a travel card like this. And then we have some more terms and conditions as well as some other notices. You guys can feel free to read up on those on your own time if you'd like. I'm definitely not a legal consultant by any means, so do your own research as far as that goes. I just like talking about credit cards. Next, we have our certifications, just saying that I have read through all this and I know what I am agreeing to when applying for the card. And I will check that now. All right, guys, I've entered in my information and it is time. Now all you have to do is submit and hope for the best. Yeah, you guys can't see my face right now, but as always, I get nervous for these, and this is actually my first Chase card. which, you know, might be a little backwards, especially like I said, it has probably my favorite starter credit card, but we'll submit it and hope for the best, and hopefully we'll see good news here in a second. So let's go ahead and submit and see what happens. So working on the request. I mean, I got pre-selected for a targeted offer. I assume that probably means I'm gonna get accepted, but who knows? Who knows? Hi, American Express. Hi, Credit Karma. Hey, all right. You've been approved. Awesome. Credit limit of only 7,000. That's actually surprising. Not the highest credit limit, but again, doesn't really matter because I'm always paying my cards off on time and in full, and I like to prepay my cards just so that my usage stays down as well. But we got approved, so that is awesome, guys. Next, it looks like I'll just be making my account, agreeing to the terms and services and whatnot. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this helps you if you're looking to apply for the card. As always, if you're looking to apply for the card, always check with your friends and families first, but my links will be down in the description and it really supports this channel. So if you're not planning on using anyone else's links, go ahead and use mine. And for those of you that do, I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like on the way out, and I will see you guys next time. What's up, guys? Editing Keegan here. Just wanted to throw this in at the start of the video. If you haven't heard, there's now a limited time 100,000 point welcome offer for the CSP going on. As of time of recording, it's just in branch, but as of, I believe, April 3rd, it's going to be online as well. So if you're seeing this video before then, make sure you wait and apply till April 3rd if you're applying online. But if you've already applied like I did, there's actually a chance that Chase will honor this 100,000 point offer. I called them yesterday and asked, and unfortunately for me, they can't. But if you applied on or after March 13th, they should honor that for you. So I would absolutely recommend giving them a call. And if you haven't applied yet and are thinking about applying, I would wait till April 3rd, or like I said, go in branch. Hey guys, I just got my Chase Sapphire Preferred in the mail, and I'm really excited to unbox it for you guys. So let's crack right in. So the first thing we have here is the actual card itself, so we'll save that for last. Next, we have a Sapphire packet, kind of just going over some of the other benefits and perks of the card. Obviously, you guys want to be familiar with this, and you probably should be by the time that you apply, but we can save that for another time. Next, we have some information on what Chase does with our personal information. Obviously, also good to have. Next, we have a card member agreement, and I actually really like how this is laid out with Chase in this little packet here. It makes it really easy to read, find what you're looking for. There are some lenders out there like Credit One that make their terms and conditions really complicated and hard to find what you're looking for, probably in an attempt to hide what you're actually agreeing to. But the fact that Chase just lays it out nice and organized like this is actually really nice. But again, we'll save that for later. Next, we have a card member agreement, and as you can see here, 22.49 APR. But if you follow this channel, you know that we don't worry about that because I always preach paying your card off in time and in full every month. So this is a pretty good APR compared to some other cards, but still definitely don't want to be paying that. So always pay off your card in time and in full, and you won't have to worry about it. An annual fee of $95, which is well worth it for this card. If you're interested in learning more about why I say that, check out some of the other videos here on my channel. But lastly, we come here to the credit card itself, and we'll be revealing the card here in 3, 2, 1. So right off the bat, I really like this design. I like the lighter blue with the little slash marks through it here. Looks very nice. Blue is my favorite color, so, you know, I'm a big fan of that. But a lot of people say that this card and the Venture X are just, you know, just another blue card, because there really are a lot of blue cards out there. But really, I can't complain because, you know, I like blue. So sweet. So with it being in my hand, it almost feels like it's completely plastic, but it is firmer than most plastic cards. Looking into the middle here, you can see that there is a thin strip of what looks like metal in the middle of the card here, with just plastic on top and on the bottom. Pretty sturdy card, pretty decent. It's a lot sturdier than like my Capital One Saver card I just got, but I think it's probably a little lighter than both my Gold card and my Venture X. And on the back here, guys, you can see that this is a Visa signature card, which comes with its own benefits, including no foreign transaction fees, which is awesome for a travel card like this, obviously. Now let's go ahead and compare it to my other metal cards. We have my Venture X and my Gold card here as well, and then the new edition of the CSP. So let's compare it to the Gold card first. And just going off of feel, it definitely feels like the Gold card is sturdier and a little bit heavier than the CSP. I don't have a scale personally myself, but I have seen that the Gold card here weighs about 15 grams and the CSP here weighs about 13. So that checks out. It feels a little bit lighter. It still does feel pretty premium, but not quite as heavy as the Gold card. Now let's bring in my Venture X. Yeah, this is by far the most premium feeling of my 3 cards. It's definitely the heaviest and the sturdiest as well. Compared to the CSP, you can really feel that this one is a lot lighter than the Venture X here. Obviously, you shouldn't make your decision on what cards to apply for just based on the feel of the credit card anyway, but just wanted to compare the feel of these cards just for fun, and while we're at it, we might as well do a drop test. So we'll go in order of weight, so we'll start with the CSP. And next we'll go to the gold card. And lastly, the Venture X. Alright guys, there was the unboxing of my Chase Sapphire Preferred. Big fan of the design. If I had to rank it, probably my least favorite of these 3 designs, but still a really big fan of it. And obviously it is a great card to have in my lineup whether I like the design or not. Definitely excited to have this card now, and make sure you guys subscribe for a full review of the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And if you guys want a quick rundown on where this card fits into my strategy, check out my 2025 credit card roadmap video for a quick review of this card and how I plan on using it. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. But for now guys, just drop a like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.